Okay, if you play CSGO, if you watch CSGO, if you care about CSGO, if you've ever even heard of CSGO, then Christmas might have just come early because Valve have given us a new operation. But this time, it's not just a bunch of new skins and some maps you'll probably never play. This time, it could be a game changer. Okay, I am literally dying to tell you about this operation, but before I do, I have to tell you about the theScore Esports Awards 2020. Yes, COVID or no COVID, pandemic or no pandemic, we are recognizing the best that esports had to offer in this crazy asterisk of a year. It's going down December 11th live on YouTube and Twitch, and I want you to be there. Okay, back to CSGO, and holy shit, where do we even start? Well, the new operation is called Broken Fang. It's gonna cost you 15 bucks American or about 13 euro. It's got new and deeper stat tracking features for you. It's got quality of life matchmaking upgrades that mimic services like Faceit, and it's got all the new maps, skins, and cosmetics that you'd expect from a new operation. Now, granted, we did not get 128 tick servers, nor did we get a legitimate kernel level anti-cheat that isn't completely half-assed. But even so, honestly, I think this operation is just mwah. Now, before we get into anything else, there is one elephant in the room when it comes to this operation that we have to talk about first, and that's this: pings. You can now ping an area or an object, like say a gun or the bomb that's in front of you. It'll be visible to your teammates and appear on the minimap, and honestly, it is a massive upgrade in terms of split-second communication with your team. Let's say you're playing a map and you don't know the hyper-specific callout of where you are and you need to communicate instantly with your teammates. Just ping it. Let's say you see the bomb going down and you want to let your team know exactly where it's planted before all those smokes plume, ping it. You see an op in the dying seconds of the round you want picked up? Just ping it. This seems to be the single new feature that everyone is talking about, and it certainly got the pros excited. Now, if you buy the new operation, you get access to what's called Broken Fang Premier Matchmaking. And if you guys play MM, you're gonna wanna check this out, because this is where some of the best new features live in the new update.
Welcome to Premier Mode. Voting is about to begin. Waiting for opponent.
As soon as your Broken Fang Premier Matchmaking cube pops, you'll be ushered into a pick ban lobby where the two teams will select what map gets played and what side you want to start. Once the map starts, the traditional free-for-all warm-up is replaced with a kind of 1v1 aim duel with a random member of the enemy team. Now, this might sound like a small thing, but honestly, using the warm-up to actually warm up instead of getting camped by auto snipers or spammed with a Negev and spawned by your own teammates is an improvement I like. Throughout your game, you're going to notice a few things are different. For example, press tab and you're going to see that different stats than you're used to are displayed, including, for the first time, headshot percentage. Also, after every round, you'll notice this graph pops up that charts a stat called win chance, and it goes up or down depending on what happened in the previous round. I'm not 100% sure why this is useful yet, but it's cool. Then, of course, there's the ping, which we already talked about, and the chat wheel. Now, forget the old bot commands, because the chat wheel is a fully customizable feature that gives you a much deeper range of pre-recorded communication messages.
Let's go to mid.
This feature, along with the ping, is going to be incredible for improving communication among your team, especially for those people who don't have a mic, who don't want to press push to talk in a firefight, or who just don't speak your language. The chat wheel's so deep, there's even an option to ask your teammates for a decoy. If you feel like trolling, I guess. As you'd expect from a new operation, you can earn points or stars by completing certain objectives and spend them on Broken Fang rewards, which we will get to in just a moment. Now, before you spend that cash, you can go to the Broken Fang Advanced Stats page, which has stuff like heat maps and charts that display weapon performance or map win rate. And this is something you'd previously have to go to a third party for. So it's a pretty neat feature. We've also got 7 new maps and a retake mode, which is big. with the retake mode, with the pick ban system, and some of the other features they've implemented in Broken Fang, it seems pretty clear that Valve is taking a page out of third-party matchmaking services like ESEA and Facet's book. Question is, are Valve testing some of these features in the Broken Fang Premier matchmaking service to eventually roll them into regular MM? You gotta believe that they didn't spend all this time creating all of these quality of life upgrades just to delete them after the operation ends. So I would expect to see them in the base game in 16 weeks. And then there's the cosmetics. Now I have a thought or two on some of the agent skins in particular, but there's one guy I knew would have an opinion about absolutely everything. And that is theScore esports resident skin fiend, Dimitri Pascaluta.
Alright, so as theScore esports' one and only cosmetic degenerate, I am here to walk you through the only thing in this operation that actually matters. Aside from that ping. That ping is genuinely life-changing. I'm talking, of course, about skins. So let's get right to it. There is, as expected, a new case, and the offerings aren't too shabby. But what really matters are the yellows. Last year, we were blessed with 4 new knives. This year, we finally got new gloves. Now, personally, I'm a sport glove guy, and while I don't hate the new designs, it doesn't seem like any of them have what it takes to take on Pandora's as the GOAT. That said, the Motos slap, especially blood pressure, and literally every one of the specialist gloves are fire. The recoil stickers and graffiti they added are actually really cool, not to mention creative. But let's be honest, the Broken Fang stickers aren't anything to write home about. They've also introduced skill group patches, so silvers like Colin can flex how scrubby they are, and a whole new set of agents, as well as a few old ones, all of whom seem great? Anyway, all of this is lovely, but it's not gonna make you any money. So let's talk about the only thing that actually matters: operation skins. So just like with last year's operation, Shattered Web, Broken Fang saw Valve bless us with 3 brand spankin' new collections: Control, Havoc, and Ancient. Needless to say, each boasts an ultra rare covert skin that will be extremely sought after. For Havoc, it's the X-Ray AK-47, which, I'll be honest, isn't for me. For Ancient, it's this badass red snake skin for the M4A1S, which definitely slaps. And for Control, which seems like the sickest of the 3, I mean, it has a sapphire A1S for f***'s sake. Why does this utterly useless weapon get blessed with the best skins? It's a travesty. Anyway, it's safe to say that the crown jewel of the Control collection is also that of the entire operation: the Op Fade. Everyone is drooling over this thing, including some of the flyest wrist flickers of all time. Personally, look, I'm gonna say it. I was a little disappointed. But to be fair, I've never been a huge fan of Fade in general, so it's completely understandable that I wouldn't go gaga over them slapping it on and off. That is just my personal preference though, and it changes nothing about the fact that this is bar none the hottest and most egregiously expensive skin you can pull from Broken Fang. If there's one thing you want Gaben to bless you with during this operation, it's the Op Fade. Anyway, that's pretty much it. The last thing I'll say about these collections might actually be the most important though, which is just that they're, well, new. For those who don't know, Valve spent years re-releasing old collections whenever a new operation came around, to the point that it became more or less expected. With Shattered Web, Valve bucked that trend, releasing 3 completely new collections. The fact that they've done that again with Broken Fang suggests that maybe Valve are done reintroducing old collections, at least for now. So why does that matter? Because it means that some already exorbitant price tags could get even crazier. Remember, some of the most sought after skins in the whole of CSGO are operation skins. The Prince, Wild Lotus, Gungnir, and yes, the Dragon Lord. If the collections of which these skins are a part are never reintroduced, it could be huge stonks for whoever's lucky enough to own them.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but after hearing that, I kind of want to wrap this up, go buy 1,000 stars, and pray for that fade. But right before we do, I have a few thoughts of my own on the cosmetics. And look, I know it's not an op fade, it's not a huge deal, but I did appreciate the agent patches that they gave us in this operation. You can display a skill matchmaking group in an homage to famous heavy metal bands. And I'm thinking I might need to pick up some Silver Slayers. Now, as far as the agent skins go, I think they're fine. It's interesting that Valve decided to go more wacky for these ones than they did with Shattered Web. I mean, just look at these guys. You got a guy who looks like the main character of GTA Vice City with a hockey mask on. Then you got the Joker ripoff, and of course, Condom Guy. We just have to hope that this time around, Valve gave some thought to the visibility of these agents on various maps, because we all know how that turned out last time. Okay, but jokes aside, this operation has been a blast so far. Valve has given us desperately needed improvements to the matchmaking system. They've given us much deeper communication tools to bring the game in line with other FPS titles in 2020, and of course, plenty of cosmetic goodies that you would expect. Now, none of that's a real anti-cheat, but it's pretty good. Okay, so Valve released obviously a bunch of new agent skins, and as with Shattered Web, they came with extremely cringy bios. Obviously purposely cringy. The worst part is though, each one has flavor text, like a tagline that defines them. They're unreal. For example, First Lieutenant Farlow, actually First Lieutenant Farlow, it's Canadian. What are they doing over there? Drinking milkshakes? What? This is another SWAT member, John Van Halen. Cask. Is that like a Van Halen joke? His tagline is, I can bring you back to life, but I can't make you live. Holy shit, did they find that on DeviantArt in 2003? I need Dimitri for this one. This guy has a Latin bio. His tagline is, Tacita sed mortiferum. What does that mean? You know?
It means silent but deadly.
Silent but deadly. Okay, so he's a fart. Okay. Okay, final one. Gateway Sally, her tagline is, now you don't see me, and now you still don't. What the fuck? This is some shit you would find on Tumblr. A 14-year-old wrote these.